All right, so back when I was in high school, there was I was into a lot of different card games, and I mean, anyone who was who was a teenager in the late '90s, early 2000s, remembers the kind of the glut of card games that came out at the time. Um, the big ones, in the late '90s would have been like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, but there were lots and lots of them. In 2000, right at the height of the Dragon Ball Z's popularity, they actually came out with a card game. It was originally done by Score. And, of course, me and my friends went out and bought it because we were, into card games and we were into Dragon Ball Z, so it seemed like an obvious choice. But, anyway, so it was really one thing, anyone who was around back then too knew there was all these card games out there, and most of them were terrible. Like, it was really, really hard for any of them to stand out. Um, the Dragon Ball Z game stood out in that it was both faithful to the source material, it really kind of felt like the show, and it was also just a really good game. It was a lot of fun to play with lots of options, and it was pretty good. And I mean, yeah, and if anyone who actually cares about tabletop gaming history, the game was actually, or at least one of the lead developers was James M. Ward, who, in case you don't know, wrote the first science fiction role playing game, Metamorphosis Alpha. He wrote the first post apocalyptic role playing game, which was Gamma World, and he was also one of the people who worked with Gary Gygax to develop Dungeons and Dragons. So, I mean, it comes as no surprise that someone with this kind of pedigree in game design was able to create such an awesome game. Anyways, and the game went on for quite a few years. I can't remember when the Dragon Ball Z cards actually stopped. I want to say it was around 2005 when they finished up with the Boo Saga, and then they went to GT, which I think used the same rules. I never played with those. I think I went up until the Cell Games sagas when I stopped playing. But anyways, the game was really, really good, and unfortunately, they ran out of series, and even though they ran out of series to make cards with, the game maintained a rather strong fan following, which you can look it up, is still out there. There's still plenty of people out there. So in 2014, Panini bought the rights to the game. They revamped the rules, changed a few things out. For this video, I think I'm just going to be unboxing, so if you want me to go over the differences or whatever, I can go over that in a later video. But meantime, I kind of want to go over. They came out with the Dragon Ball Z Evolution decks. These came out, this was the 2015, I believe it was October of last year. They came out with these. And they're much like how when they originally did the starter decks back in the day, you didn't really know what you got inside. I remember when I first bought the, me and my little brother, I remember it was me and my little brother, we took the bus to the mall up in Antioch, California. I can't remember where it is, but it's where we were living at the time. We both went down there. I picked up a hero deck, and he picked up a villain deck. And what was unique was that, unlike say if you bought a Pokemon deck or a Magic the Gathering deck or what have you, you knew what you were getting inside. You knew what your primary cards were or whatever. This, you didn't know, and you might think, well, I mean, what if you want this? But it kind of makes sense because, like, I think people would deliberately pick out the good ones and leave the bad ones behind. So, and that's not necessarily, necessarily a good idea because sometimes even the characters you might not want, like I'll show here on this other deck that I got last week, that I mean, you might not want this certain villain, but they're actually pretty good. Yeah. And anyways, before I lose my train of thought here again. But yeah, so of course when they came out with the first decks, they were just that was the 2014 starter set. It came with it was much like the older sets, and that, or at least the original Sand Saga set, like I got, and that you got a random main personality, and you also got kind of like a random deck. I don't know how random it was, but it was a mix of different colors. However, with the new rules, you have to have basically a mastery. Like back in the old rules, you can choose to have a favorite style and exclusively use that style, but you can't do that. But you can also just have the color of the style. You can just do whatever. This one you have to have a specific style, so that was kind of worthless. You got your you got your personality. You even got a random mastery card, which are now required in this one too. But you really couldn't use it because you have a multicolored deck. These ones, each random deck is a random pre-constructed deck that's tailored to, I guess, the fighting style of the personality that comes with it. And that's much better because you can actually play this straight out of the box, no problem, even at a tournament. So, I mean, this could be useful for, blind tournaments where, if everyone gets a random starter deck and they can pull it out and they can play it. The cards are even pre-shuffled and everything, so you don't even have to worry. Well, I mean, you probably should because you're going to look through them and see what they look like, but it makes it a lot easier to shuffle. You don't have to worry about, drawing two of the same card in a row like you could if they put them next to each other. So that's kind of a nice little addition. And one thing I don't particularly like that they have with here is that they don't, the original decks, they came with like a little plastic scouter to do your power level, as well as a little plastic sword to do your anger level. This one, it comes with a play sheet, which does your anger level, but, I guess you got to use another card for, detecting your power level over here. I'll show you here in just a second. But, I mean, it's, I mean, they do give you more than, like, if you buy a Magic the Gathering deck, you don't get a rule book, you just get the cards. This includes a rule book, it includes a sheet, it includes a lot more than what, I see coming out in Magic the Gathering decks these days. But yeah, so that would have been nice. I actually ordered 2 Saiyan Saga decks, which I got for like $25, which is not bad. Considering people want for like a Scouter Anger Sword pair, they want like between $10 to $15 after shipping, which was stupid. And I got the 2 decks, $25, and this is still compatible with the old cards, so you can still play with those. They may not be tournament legal, but you can still, in casual games, use cards from the old ones. But yeah, anyways, to go over what's actually in each of these decks, each one, obviously, you get your 70 cards, which includes 4 main personalities, which is nice because the old set, you only got level 1 through 3, and if you want the level 4 personality, you had to draw from a pack. Now you get all 4. So in this one, I got Android 17, and I want to point out that me and my roommate both bought a deck, and we both got Android 17. There was only one different card in here. I'll show you what it was. So you get levels 1 through 4. You got your power up rating, your abilities, and they each have unique abilities, and some of them, even on some of the weaker personalities, I noticed, will have some pretty powerful abilities, so, that could be relevant. Android 17 is cool. He's one of my favorite villains. And then you get your mastery card, and Android 17 comes with the red deck. I know we both got the same one. I believe they all come with the same one. So, yeah. And then, of course, I also got a level 3 Goku. You get 10 foil cards. My roommate, this is the one that was different. Mine was Goku. He got Vegeta. So I think whatever this 5th card here is, this random personality you get, it's probably going to be different in every one. So, it's nice to have, I guess. I mean, you really can't use it for anything, but it's 1 extra card. The last ones, came with 9 extra. The last set came with 9 extra ones. I guess they didn't give you the random one like this. I don't know. Nice to have. And then, of course, you get 4 full versions of the cards you have. Now, you can see this. Here's a problem with the full cards. They bend like this. This came out of the pack like this. This wasn't anything I did. I tried flattening them and everything, and I'm guessing because of the humidity, the way the metal in there is one thing why I know a lot of people love foil cards, but like maybe they're nice for collector's reasons, but I wouldn't put them in a deck because of this. It's bullshit. But whatever. And then, of course, you get a complete 60-card deck. Again, lots of different cards. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but, you get lots of everything. And one thing I noticed, too, is that the rarity symbols are the 4-star, which is, in the old sets, in the old one, I remember when you bought a deck, only the personality cards had that symbol. That was usually just there for certain personalities, and the rest of them would have their appropriate rarity symbol on it for the card. But now I guess anything that comes out of a starter deck has that one. I don't know. Maybe that's for collectability reasons. I don't know. I don't particularly care. But either way, so on to the meat of this. I got these out of a. I got these on eBay. They bought them. They were on sale for. Sorry about the glare on that. It's from my light. I bought them for $19 for both of them. It was probably the best price you can get for them. I mean, most of them were going anywhere between $10 to $15, usually closer to 15. 15 is the retail price for them, by the way. This came out to about, it was about $9.50 each. So if you and a friend want to get started with this game, this would be the cheapest way to get it from this guy. I believe it's South Beach, Florida Cards, something like that. South Florida Sports Cards, something like that. Look it up, you'll find it. Anyway, so like I said, what you get inside of these are random, so I don't know what I'm gonna get inside of these. You know, they could list on the top of there. You got 17, 18, and Super Saiyan Vegeta, or some of what they advertise for. There's 6 personality cards, one's for each style, so you can get possibly one of each. You can get you got Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, 17 and 18. Those are the times. Each of them come with their own deck. Let's say, like, Android 17 comes with the red style. Piccolo comes with the Mickey and style. Trunks gets the Saiyan style. I can't remember what the rest get off the top of my head. I want to say that Goku gets orange style, but I'm not sure. And obviously, you could change those around. I mean, with the way these come, if you get different ones, you can just change out the main personality and just use the other deck however you want to do it. It's your choice. However, because each one plays a little bit different, so get the ones that fit your play style best. Now, I'm kind of hoping I get a Piccolo in one of these, because back when I played back in the day, that's what I always pull Piccolo for my starter decks, no matter what. I always got Piccolo. When I half expected it to get it in this set right here, but instead I got Android 17, which is the first time I've ever actually gotten a villain. So it was just cool. I was like, I liked it. It's fine. But I'm kind of hoping I get a Piccolo, because that would be great. But knowing how my luck works, I'm going to get 2 Android 17s. That's just how this sort of shit works for me. So, alright. Let's see. Let's start with this one. Put Homeboy over here. Move my D8. Ooh. Moving the camera about. Make sure. Okay. Yeah, I remember back in high school, it was mostly me and my friend. His name was Mike, but we called him Bobo because he was a weird motherfucker, and he played his Vegeta deck, and we'd play this shit all the damn time. Oh, goodness gracious. And it actually wasn't hard to pick up a game back in high school, because everyone loved Dragon Ball Z, and it was kind of the height of the card game thing, so a lot of people had decks. A lot of people didn't. It was high school, no one really played Pokemon. This was before Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering would often take too long to play over a lunch break. Let's see what we get in here. So we're going to... Okay, a couple things. Let's just see, let's just pull out the extras. So, yeah. Rulebook. Basic rulebook. About 11 pages. The rules are very simple. In fact, they're streamlined from the old rules. Rules are a little more complicated than this. They've streamlined it on, kept the core of it, kept the spirit of it. Still, everything is still there, but just to make it a little bit easier. And it's very easy to pick up and play. Let's see. And let's see. You also get a playmat. Just the basics, gives you a way to track your anger level, play area, whatever, Not the best thing in the world, but still a nice little add-on. Again, more than you get with a lot of other cards these days. So there's the full deck. Let's see what our personality card is. So we got, oh, Trunks. Oh, that is cool. Awesome. That's very exciting, because that means we also got the Saiyan style deck. Yes. So yeah, Saiyan Defense Rush. Pull the ones right here, and let's open this thing up. Let's see, so yeah, we got Trunks. Let's compare his, yeah, okay, yeah, it's not bad. Let's compare number 2 to, yeah, you see, he's just a little bit less powerful than Android 17, but not so much though. Another thing I noticed is that the range on powers is a lot more than they are in the old ones. So this makes using weaker personality cards from older sets or earlier sagas more valid. So you can, as long as you can, well, yeah, as long as you can get them down, which is nice to see. Of course, then we go on to 4. You see, there's a little bit more of a substantial difference in power. Although, as you can see, that his lowest power level is better than his. There's more range, even though his higher one's more. His lowest one's a lot better. That's something I noticed on the Goku card as well. As it seemed maybe the Saiyans just have a better range, even if their highest is lower. I don't know. Maybe that's just something. Maybe I'm just paying too much attention. And oh, there's the Saiyan Rampaging Mastery. All right, that's my Mastery card. And look at that. I already got 2 Goku cards. So I'm only 2 cards away from having a full Goku set without even drawing a back. Watch, that's who I'm going to be from the when I draw my other one. It's going to be Goku, just so I just have too many of these. Okay, here's something cool. Like, you see these orange words right here? Whenever you see something like this, that means that it's basically a reprint of a card from the original series, from the original score printings. And that means that the scorecards with that name are tournament legal. That's what that means, if in case you're curious. So, I mean, yeah. And that's it. Yeah, not bad. And again, you notice that these foil cards bend. Don't like them. Some people are going to hate me for that, but whatever. Let's open up the deck real quick. And yeah, I was expected. Again, you see the orange words. So, again, that's something to look out for. You can already see, like I was talking about earlier, pre-shuffled. You see that we had that one earlier. Here it is in the middle of the deck. So it makes it a little easier to shuffle later. Then you also, you got your stylus cards. Anyone can use stylus cards regardless of their mastery. But yeah, okay, yeah, this is nice. This is really nice. I'm actually quite happy with this. It's pretty sweet. Set you all aside. Okay, let's see what I get. I have a roughly 33% chance of getting something I already have. I got my Android 17 and I got Trunks, so I mean I have 30, but I also got a 6% chance of getting something else, and that 1 out of 6 chance of getting a Piccolo like I wanted. But even if I could just get something different than that, I'd be very happy with it. More of this. Let's put this over here. Let's see who we get. Oh, sweet Vegeta. Awesome. Very awesome. I think I did pretty good. So not bad. And he came with the orange style. So there's that, and oh well, there's a Piccolo. Yep. And then of course here are the fulls. These ones actually aren't as bad. These were quite nice. Oh dear. Let's see. Nice. Alright, I like that. Orange launcher has a launch on it. Alright, I like that. I can dig that. Alright. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if these would be the best exhibits once I've played. I couldn't tell you what's good strategy or not, but this is a good idea what you get into them. I think I did well. I got 3. I really, really wanted to pick a low one, but you know, whatever. You know, you could buy them specifically online just at a higher price. I don't know. Either way, that was a lot of fun. So, you know, if you're looking to get into this would be a great way to start. Deck's playable right out of the box. So, all right.